My wife's lawyer sent me divorce papers with a note. Client is entitled to 50% of all assets acquired during marriage. I replied, understood, processing now. We'd been married 9 years. She worked in marketing. I worked in software development. Standard middle-class life. House, 2 cars, joint accounts. Normal arguments about whose turn it was to do dishes. Date nights maybe twice a month. Nothing dramatic until she went to that conference in Austin. She came back different. Started working late. New clothes appeared in the closet. Her phone had a passcode suddenly. I knew what was happening but didn't want to admit it. Then one Tuesday afternoon, my phone buzzed while I was debugging code at work. Text from her. I need space to find myself. Papers coming soon. Please don't make this difficult. That was it. 9 years ended in a text message between meetings. The papers arrived the following Tuesday. Thick envelope, official letterhead, her lawyer's note paperclip to the front. The note laid out everything she wanted in precise detail. The house we bought together 5 years ago, half my 401k that I'd been contributing to since before we met, half the savings account. Her car was already paid off in her name, but she wanted half the value of mine too. She even wanted half my performance bonus from last year. The list went on for 2 pages. Every asset we'd accumulated, split down the middle. Her lawyer had been thorough. I sat at my kitchen table reading through it all twice. Then I called my lawyer, a guy named Phil who'd helped me with my mom's estate. Told him what was happening. He said I had options. We could negotiate, drag it out, fight over valuations, or I could give her exactly what she asked for. I chose option 2. I didn't argue, didn't call her, didn't try to talk her out of it. Just started liquidating everything. Called a real estate investor who bought houses for cash. Sold our place for $40,000 under market value because I needed it done fast. Drained the savings account down to 0. Cashed out investments early and ate the tax penalties. Withdrew everything I could access from retirement accounts. Converted it all to cashier's checks. The whole process took 11 days of paperwork and phone calls. On day 8, her lawyer called Phil sounding concerned. Your client is selling marital assets without spousal consent. That's not proper procedure. Phil calmly explained I was simply preparing her portion as requested. Everything was documented. All transactions legal and traceable. Just converting assets to liquid form for easy division, exactly as her note had demanded. Day 13, I met her lawyer at his office downtown. Walked in with a manila envelope and set it on his desk. Inside were cashier's checks totaling exactly 50% of our dissolved assets. Also included was a detailed spreadsheet showing every transaction, every sale, every withdrawal, every penalty fee I'd incurred, every tax consequence we'd face. Her half of the assets came to $34,000. I watched her lawyer's face go white as he scanned the numbers. He grabbed his phone and started dialing her immediately. Left the room for a private conversation that I could hear through the door anyway. Lots of, but you told me, and are you certain about these figures? Turns out she'd been telling her new boyfriend we were worth over $300,000. She'd been planning their future together. Already promised him they'd buy a condo in Miami Beach with her settlement money. She'd picked out furniture online, but she never actually knew our real financial situation. Never knew I'd been paying extra on the mortgage for years, but we'd only built modest equity. Never knew the 401k had loans against it from when she needed surgery 3 years ago. Never knew the savings had been slowly drained by her shopping habits that she hid from me by using credit cards. She saw the house and 2 cars and nice dinners out and assumed we were rich. Never looked at the actual numbers. Her lawyer came back in looking sick. Phil reached into his briefcase and slid over a second envelope. Her half of the debts. Credit cards in both our names she'd maxed out buying clothes and electronics. The $40,000 home equity loan she'd insisted we take out for her friend's boutique business that failed in 6 months. The car lease she'd signed us both onto last year for the luxury SUV she wanted. Her half of the marital debts came to $31,000. She showed up at my new studio apartment that night screaming in the hallway. Threatened to sue for fraud. Said I'd hidden assets somewhere. Her lawyer had already told her there was nothing to sue for. Every transaction documented. Every asset accounted for. Every debt verified. She just never bothered to understand our actual financial situation before filing. Last I heard, the boyfriend left her the day he found out there was no Miami condo coming. She's living with her sister now, working 2 jobs to cover her portion of the debt she didn't know existed. I'm in a 400 square foot studio with $34,000, rebuilding from scratch. Her net settlement after debts, $3,000. She asked for 50% of everything acquired during marriage.